Welcome to Complicated Relationship Matters with Dr. Mark Ben. We are here to educate you and coach you through any kind of relationship issues that you are dealing with. Our channel includes talk shows, documentaries, debates, and much more.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of Complicated Relationship Matters with Dr. Mark Ben. And we believe we're going to have a great time today. We have a very lovely story for you today. And we would also expect you to share your experience and also be a contributor as per the story so that we could actually know how to go about it. Someone have written to me, and I'm going to relay the story that she shared with me concerning her relationship, which seemed complicated. And after this story, then you'll be given the opportunity to call in and share your experience or give a kind of advice to this particular person. Um, Without much delay, let's go on a break first. Then when we come back, we will look into this story.
This is Complicated Relationship Matters with Dr. Mark Ben, adding life and values to relationships.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Complicated Relationship Matter with Dr. Mark Ben. Like I said earlier, we have a very complicated story to share with you today. I would encourage you to support our channel by subscribing to our channel, like our videos, and press the notification bell. So when we have any video that we dropped in, then you'll be the first person to be notified regards to this video. My ex stole the face of my husband. Now I've lost my focus. That is the topic for today's discussion. That is the title of the story. My ex stole the face of my husband. Now I've lost my focus. I've just got some feedback from people, so I had to like that. I have to summarize this story so I could give you time to call in. So I'm going to actually summarize this story. Uh, I will leave some details, okay? But in a nutshell, you will understand what the story is all about anyway. But I'll just give you a quick summary of the story so that you could actually call in on time. I want to give more time to people today as usual. Then again, last week we had an issue with our audio because it was echoing, and I've decided to record the episode for last week, and I've spoken with all the callers that called in so that we could actually choose a particular day that we're going to re-record it. Then after we record it, then we'll upload it on YouTube so that you can actually view it because it was a very interesting topic. People were so happy with the story and they actually wanted to hear it over and over again. So, but because it was echoing, we have to like re-record it again. So let me just let you know, apology for that, please. Accept my apologies for that. Now, without much delay, let me quickly introduce you to the story that we've got today. This is the story. Let's start from the top, okay? My ex stole the face of my husband. Now I've lost focus. My ex stole the face of my husband. Now I've lost focus. The story is divided into about four chapters. The first chapter is titled The Foundation. And the second chapter is titled Face to Face. And the third chapter is titled The Twisted Mind. And the last chapter is titled My Projection. Like I've promised earlier, I'm going to give a quick summary of this story so that you could actually have a complete understanding and quickly come to a conclusion about what the story is all about. Okay, let's go quickly without much wasting of our time. Now, Oyindamola was married to Adekunle, and both were blessed with two children, a male and a female. Both had a steady relationship. Both had a steady relationship that seemed to work well. On a particular day when she was traveling back from work, she had a flat tire. Oyindamola pulled a car off the road while being frustrated and thinking about what to do next. She didn't know how to go about changing tires. While she was still ruminating, on the way forward, a tinted car pulled behind her car, and a man flamboyantly dressed got out of the car. He exchanged pleasantries with Oyindamola, staring steadfastly at her. Suddenly, he called out her name with his baritone voice. Oyindamola, who are you? And how did you come about my name? Oyindamola inquired from the stranger. The man, the man smiled and stated, "Look at me very well and try to recollect." When Oyindamola could not come up with any word, he broke the silence and stated, "I am Kenneth Umbadiwe from so and so school." We kept the name of the school as off the line because Oyindamola does not want us to mention the name of the school. So that's why we used so and so for the school. So just as if a memory was suddenly turned on, she remembered him, and the sweet memories of the old days flooded her mind. How are you? How are you doing? How have you been? All those kind of stuff came in. They just exchanged pleasantries. So, like I said, without much waste of her time. Now she got to know who Kenneth was. Kenneth had changed over the years. That was the reason she couldn't recognize Kenneth in the first place. They both hugged and wouldn't let go of each other while Kenneth Driver looked on. They chatted briefly and thereafter exchanged contacts. Both contacted each other frequently and met couple of times. The hot flame was reignited. After meeting with Kenneth, Oyindamola passion, interest, and sexual desire for Adekunle, her husband, began to fade away, while her passion, interest, and sexual desire for Kenneth intensified. Oyindamola was in a fix between Kenneth and Adekunle, her husband. Oyindamola confided in a bosom friend that marrying Adekunle was just an afterthought and an option. She stated that Kenneth was her all in all. She also stated that the breakup between her and Kenneth was underpinned by tribalism promoted by her parents. She was from the south, Kenneth was from the east. And the parents of Oyedamola wouldn't want her to marry someone from the east. So the separation between Oyedamola and Kenneth was underpinned by tribalism promoted by her parents. Okay. Oyedamola confessed that since she had met Kenneth, who was her first love, it was as if her relationship with him picked up from where it ended many years back. She stated she wouldn't mind leaving Adekunle for Kenneth, but was not sure if Kenneth would leave his wife for her. Oyindamola further confided with her friend that lovemaking with Adekunle had become a struggle. She stated that she would have to imagine the face of Kenneth on Adekunle to arouse her. Oyindamola's feelings for Adekunle died when she met with Kenneth. That's the summary of the story. Now, the big question are as follows. Do you think Oyindamola took the right steps in the right directions? Number two, how would you have handled this situation if you were in Oyindamola's shoe? Three, what should Adekunle do in this situation? Four, how would you view Kenneth's role in Oyindamola's scenario? Those are the questions to be answered. Phone line will be open shortly. And we would encourage you to join us and share your view on this story. Invariably, Kenneth was Oyindamola's first love. They lost contact for years. And since the time she reunited with Kenneth, that marked a turning point in her life. And this is affecting, and this affected her relationship with her husband. So how would you handle this situation if you were in her shoe? How will you handle this situation if you were in her shoe? So I'm going to bring the phone line quickly. Today we added one more phone line, and that's the US phone line. Those in Ireland would you will only be able to call the mobile number. There's no WhatsApp number attached to that today, to this number today. But those in the US and those for okay, let's put this way, those in the US could actually call through their mobile number, through their landline number, and also use the WhatsApp. But if you are outside the US as well, you could just put the number on your phone and that will enable you to use your WhatsApp to call if that's the option that you would prefer. So the number will be displayed shortly. These are the numbers. If you have a UK landline, then you have to call +44 203 00 66 914. If you're in Ireland, then you could call +353 899 666 22 and 1. If you're in the US, you could call using your landline or your mobile number, your mobile line as well, and a WhatsApp number is attached to that as well. You could use that for WhatsApp as well. And if you are outside US, you could actually put this on your phone and you're able to contact us through WhatsApp as well, which means the number here to call is +1 718 807 4551. 4551. So these are the numbers that you could actually call to contribute to this story. So in the meantime, I'm going to take the highlight of that story one more time because some people could be joining us so that they will actually know what the story is all about. So I'm going to go now to start the high point of the highlight of the story. Now, Oyindamola was married to Adekunle, and both were blessed with two children, a male and a female. Both had a steady relationship that seemed to work well. On a particular day, when she was traveling back from work, she had a flat tire. Linda Moller pulled her car off the road. While being frustrated and thinking about what to do next, she didn't know how to go about changing tires. While she was still ruminating on the way forward, a tinted car pulled behind her car, and a man flamboyantly dressed got out of the car. He exchanged pleasantries with Oyindamola, staring steadfastly at her. Suddenly, he called out her name with his baritone voice. Oyindamola, who are you? How did you come about my name? Oyindamola inquired from the stranger. The man smiled and stated, look at me very well and try to recollect. When Oyindamola could not come up with any word, the man broke the silence and stated, I am Kenneth Madikwe from so and so school. The name of the school is kept offline because Oyindamola instructed us not to mention the name of the school. Just as if a memory was suddenly turned on, she remembered him, and the sweet memories of the old days flooded her mind. They both hugged and wouldn't let go of each other while Kenneth Drivers looked on. You've changed, Kenneth. What has happened to you all these years? Oh, you know, well, I haven't met you. Oh, what happened to you? Are you married? All kind of stuff. They had all those kind of chats, trying to reconnect. After this, after they chatted briefly and thereafter exchanged contacts, both contacted each other frequently and met a couple of times. The old flame was reignited and burned like a wildfire. After meeting with Kenneth, Oyindamola's passion, interest, and sexual desires for Adekunle, her husband, began to fade away, while her passion, interest, and sexual desire in Kenneth intensified. Oyindamola was in a fix between Kenneth and Adekunle, her husband. Oyindamola confided in a bosom friend that marrying Adekunle was just an afterthought and an option. She stated that Kenneth was her all in all. She also stated that the breakup between her and Kenneth was underpinned by tribalism promoted by her parents. Oyindamola was from the southern part of Nigeria, while Kenneth was from the eastern part of Nigeria. And the parents of Oyindamola would never want a daughter to have anything to do with anyone from the east when it comes to the issue of marriage. Oyindamola further confessed that since she had met Kenneth, who was her first love, wow, they say first loved never died. Could that be true? She said it was as if her relationship with him picked up from where it ended many years back. She further stated that she wouldn't mind leaving Adekunle for Kenneth, but was not sure if Kenneth would leave his wife for her. Oyindamola further confided with her friend that lovemaking with Adekunle had become a struggle. She stated that she would have to imagine the face of Kenneth on Adekunle, her husband, to arouse her. Oyindamola's feelings for Adekunle died after she met with Kenneth. That's the end of the story. That is the summary. So the question we'll be asking today are as follows. Do you think Oyindamola took the right step in the right directions? How would you have handled the situation if you were Oyindamola? What should Adekunle do? in this situation. How would you view Kenneth's role in Oyindamola scenario? The lines are now open. Call from the UK, +44 203 00 66 914. From Ireland, if you're in Ireland, +353 899 666 221. If you're in the US, you could use this number to call also on your WhatsApp, +1 718 807 4551. This story is simply based on a very complicated issue. No wonder the title is framed in such a way to say that the ex stole the face of her husband. Since Oyindamola had reunited, so to speak, with Kenneth, things have changed. And marriage or her relationship with Adekunle, her husband, that seems to have gone well, began to have issues, problems at the end of the day. Who are we to blame? Will it be Kenneth or will it be Oyindamola? If you were in Oyindamola's shoe, how would you have handled this situation? Was it infatuation that Oyindamola had with Kenneth or love? A lot of questions are popping up right away, okay? Would someone being an option in a relationship constitute a problem if the main person appears in the scene suddenly? Then why would someone go for an option? Have you ever had a situation like that in the past, or you know someone who has such a situation? So I want to hear from you. The line are open. And also for those who can call in for now, because this will be on the YouTube as well, or on the Facebook, you just leave your comments. That would actually help us as well. Oyindamola wants to know. Oyindamola is confused. Because now, you remember, she was contemplating that she was contemplating leaving her relationship, you know. And at the end of the 1 second, one call is coming in. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I mean, where are you calling from? You are calling locally. Okay, okay. Um, did you hear the story?
Comment is, I feel she's working from the unfinished business in the last relationship brought to life the incident. Uh, Bailey is upright, has marital issues that she hasn't kind of resolved or wants to do.
Hello, please. Can you raise your voice a bit higher so that we could hear you? We can hear you from here.
Right. For me, my input is that the unfinished business in the last relationship brought to life by the incident. It's led her to kind of revisit her feelings that were drawn from the misconception that what love can be relived. And yet again, the changes in the current relationship are the driving force to the mixed emotions. The reality is that the grass is not always greener on the other side. So her thing to bring back to Kenneth will resolve her issues that she's having currently. It's not necessarily the same. In that she needs to reflect on the issues within the current marriage or relationship and have an open discussion with her partner to reignite the passion that the life pressures have manipulated. So the feelings that she's currently having pretty much temporarily has the person is prepared to lose what they've built with her partner for their loan. What's the guarantee that Kenneth is still the same person from the youthful days? Therefore, cost versus benefit is the real issue of the day.
Okay.
Not home without looking to resolve the issue they in.
Really? Okay, what I'm going to do, I know you, okay, I will give you a call right now because since I see if that was not loud enough. Just 1 second, just give me a second, okay? Let me put this through to you quickly. Okay, that's what, yeah. She would, I will get out to get that done now. 1 second. Okay, I'll call you in a second, okay? Just pick up the call. It's from me, okay? Let me call you now so it will be louder here. I think. Let's go. That's it. Hello.
Okay?
Hello, yeah, this is louder. Okay, can I hear you? Yeah, could you repeat what you said? So, what's your view on the whole situation?
My view is the unfinished business in the last relationship brought to life by the incident.
Okay,
Her feelings are drawn from the misconception that what's lost can be relived. Yet again, the changes in her current relationship are the driving forces to the mixed emotions. The reality is that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Henceforth, she needs to reflect on the issues within her current relationship or marriage and
okay,
have an open discussion with her partner to reignite the passion that life pressures have manipulated. Remembering that feelings are temporary lived, or flames rather, are temporary lived. Is she prepared to lose what she's built with her partner for the unknown? What's the guarantee that Kenneth is still the same person from her youthful days? So the cost versus benefit is the real issue. She has to face and whether it's worth breaking up her home without first looking to resolve the issues therein. As we discussed earlier, she has a family, there are kids involved, and there are a lot of things or factors that she has to consider before jumping the ship. All she knows is what Kenneth is presenting her, which right now it seems like the ideal because she's comparing what she's missing in her marriage. But then the question is, has she looked into her marriage? Has she spoken to her partner about what issues she's encountering or why she's not happy or as you consider, as you're aware, when you meet someone at the beginning of the relationship, without the kids, the marriage, and everything else, there's a lot of, it's very spontaneous. But once kids get involved, there's a lot of pressures that comes with starting a family and managing a family, work, and everything else.
Yeah.
So that could have impacted the person in her current marriage. So my question to her back is, has she considered looking into her current relationship to see where the issue is? And if it's something that can work together with the husband without first dropping everything she spent most of her adult life building for a guy she barely knows. Person you knew when you're in university or when you're in high school, it's not the person that you know today. He's
Mm.
presenting a picture of what he wants you to know. Unless she is actively involved in his life, for me, my advice is she needs to reconsider her options once again, but more importantly, focusing on her current relationship, talking to her partner, seeing if they can seek counseling so that they can work on their marriage. Because she'll ultimately find out that whatever is missing, if the partner is willing,
Hmm.
they can both work on it and repair. Than for her to jump ship and go start a whole new relationship with leaving her home, displacing the kids, and all what will come with it. So that's why I was saying the cost versus benefit,
So,
ramifications of her actions. So, yes, Kenneth might have seemed like the knight in Shining Armor coming in to rescue her when
yeah,
she had an incident.
yeah.
But then, at the same token, is hey, you spend so much of your life for this other person. Are you going to leave all that for just something that is unknown? What if she leaves her home and then finds out that Kenneth is not the man she wanted?
Mm.
Because what's stopping the cycle, the passion with Kenneth dying off, immediately they become steady. Is he also willing to leave his family? Or he's happy to have a fling outside home just to bring back the passion in his own life? So those are the things I would say she needs to consider.
Okay, so you're saying that the Kenneth in New Den might have changed over the years because people change over the years anyway because they've lost contact for so many years now. Then secondly, you're talking about counting the cost before she
Mm-hmm.
makes her decision, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's the illusion. The illusion that, oh, he's exciting, he was fun when I was young, and this is the fun that I need. He's basically kind of weighing what was with where he is right now. Who you were a few years back, it's not the same person that you are today. It's not the same process that you have experienced.
That's true.
So whatever has kind of impacted on their current relationship with the husband, that's something she has to look into before running off to someone else's arms, only to find out it was not worth the trouble of breaking up her home, displacing her kids, all that's going to come with it.
Yeah, she
So
remember,
those are the things that she needs to look into.
remember she had a doubt with regards to Kenneth leaving his own spouse for her, but she was willing to do that for him. Does that speak anything about? I mean, does that actually does it make any sense to you with that kind of thought? So that should actually tell you, I mean, about our thought line, what was going on her mind. She was willing to jettison what she had worked for over the years for someone that she wasn't sure would do same for her.
That is where the cost versus benefit comes in. The benefit for her right now with Kenneth is he's given her back that happiness that she felt she might have lost, or the passion that she felt she must have lost over the years. But then yet again, has she looked into her relationship right now? Has she sat down with the partner and expressed how she's feeling? Have they worked through the changes? It could be something as small as establishing date nights during the week, just for them to spend time together, aside from the kids and the home, and just find that passion back into their marriage. It could be seeking out counseling for them to work through the issues that they're having in their home that is affecting their love life. There's so many things that could be done before jumping the ship. That's my opinion. Because once again, Kenneth was just the guy he kind of just remembered from whenever, and he is not in that position to make the same sacrifices that he is kind of expecting her to make. So that's something she should think through.
Okay, okay, that's quite a very good contribution. That's a kind of an holistic view of the whole situation, because that means you actually followed the story. You follow the story, so that risk is not worth taking. She had to look at the cost. That is what it is. You have to look at the cost. That Kenneth is not the same Kenneth that you might have known many years back. That was a very good one. Yeah.
Man she married when she started off the relationship. People grow, and with time and life stresses, it affects people individually. Now, collectively, unless the both parties are willing to face the issues they are dealing with, then it leaves that open room for the likes of Kenneth to come in and serve
But hold on, hold on, hold on. Oyindamola and Adekule had no issue at all until Kenneth appeared on the scene. Okay, and now she's
That's one thing I took into consideration. It might appear that there wasn't any issues, but for her, Kenneth coming in with the excitement and everything else, it pulled her back and she realized something's been missing in my relationship. At the time, that that view wasn't there, because she was going with the everyday norm. She was settled in what she's having with the husband. But when Kenneth came in, if the marriage was solid, Kenneth coming in wouldn't have made a change, wouldn't have impacted her relationship in any way. It wouldn't have questioned her feelings, her emotions towards her husband. It wouldn't have led her to think back, oh, what I lost before, can I go back to it? So the way they were just not brought up to where they are now because of him coming in. If at all there was no issues, it would have been that Kenneth would have helped her with her tire issue, not catching up, see you when I see you, and it ended there. But they kept building on, keeping in contact, but not only keeping in contact as friends, but they were building onto something. So there must have been issues in the marriage that she hadn't yet been predisposed to, or she wasn't dealing with them.
okay.
Because as you know, with time, most people tend to just go with the everyday, the norm of what a home looks like, meeting the needs of the home.
Yeah,
They end up
yeah,
losing themselves within the marriage itself.
yeah. There have been, which means
So
that there have been some
could
issues.
have,
Yeah.
for
Hmm.
her, which she could have used as the eye opener
Yeah.
in order to deal with her own, even maybe the issue is not her husband, maybe the issue is with her, you know, that her sexual interests have changed. Maybe she's married a very traditional man who doesn't do certain things and she's looking to explore, and maybe, there's so much influences that she might have not looked into as to why she's feeling like that. So she needs to go back and visit that why. Why tennis coming in has made me change the way I see my home. So that's what I'm saying. Cost versus
Yeah.
cost.
I think
Am
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mm.
I happy to go ahead and take the risk to explore this new idealism that I think is what I need? But that thing is like she's chasing temporary happiness without looking at the bigger goal or the bigger picture. So her leaving her husband, what about the kids? What about the home? If you happy enough to say my happiness is what's first and is above my family, my kids, and I'm gonna pursue that. So these are the things those are the self discussions she needs to also have with herself. Just to revisit her thought life in terms of what are her goals, what is she looking for, what are the changes What can she do to improve where she is without necessarily running off to the next best thing without knowing what she's going to find there? What happens when she goes back to Kenneth and then finds that Kenneth is a worse man than what she had? Can she go back to her husband? Will things be the same as they were before she left? These are the things that she needs to have that conversation with herself and then bring it up to her husband and just say, look, I think we need to talk. This is how I'm feeling. I'm not sure if you're in the same line. Is there anything we can do about it?
Okay.
If it's something to do with our love life, can they consider sex therapy, or is it something that she's open to it? Because anybody who wants to make their marriage work, they'll consider alternatives first before jumping out.
Okay, thank you. That was a very good one. I believe that there are some underlying issues in the relationship between Adekunle and Oyindamola that were not addressed because things just don't happen, just happen suddenly the way she claimed that things developed. But the thing at the end of the day is these underlying factors have to be dealt with. Because so at the end of the day, I think I would see her as being delusional in her thought, in the sense that why would you want, like you said, why would you want to risk your marriage, risk living I'm hurting your kids and so on and so forth for a man that I would say you barely know now, because over the years things could have changed. Well, we understand, yeah.
That her feelings are validated. She has the right to feel the way she's feeling because she's missing something that makes her feel complete. So that's where she needs to go back. Why is she feeling like that? What's leading to those feelings or that thing for her to look outside of what she has? You get it?
Yeah.
Her and the husband lost the connection, or they lost the fun that they used to have. That was one of the appealing things about him. She needs to just find out what went wrong before jumping off to the next best thing and try and see if there's a way it can be repaired. Because remember, it takes two to tango. So if it is in a marriage, it's the two parties together have to work through whatever issues are there for them to find a new reality of that marriage. Maybe the husband is feeling the same way. He hasn't brought it up because he doesn't want to make it feel that he's probably unhappy. She'll never know unless one of them brings out the issue to the table. But jumping gun is never the solution without first seeing the real cause of the issue. It could be the issues with her, you know? Childbirth and everything else, it changes a woman's way, a woman's perception of herself. It is a lot of changes that go through the woman that she might not have dealt with, and she just kept on going with the everyday norm.
That's why communication is essential there. I think they've swept so many things under the carpet, thinking that those things are going to fix themselves up. And this is what happens when you have a relationship whereby you can't communicate, you can't discuss about issues, and you keep on saying things will be right and things will fix itself, and you sweep under the carpet. Then there could be some situation that will come up at the end of the day that will bring all this stuff that you have kept away that you didn't talk about to express itself in an ugly way.
So having said that again, she talked about her relationship with her husband. He said her relationship with her husband is good, but has she gone into details about the relationship with her husband? Do they spend time together, quality time together as a couple, aside from the kids, aside from the home? Do they still do things together that are fun and that they enjoy doing together? As they're growing older, are they exploring themselves with their advances in age and time? Or are they still stuck where they started off? Are they growing with the relationship? Or have they just both gone to their respective roles, husband, wife, father, and the demands of life, and forgot the individuals running that home? But for Kenneth just to come in the picture to fix a car, and then the next thing he's involved with them, he has to look into how he got to that leap from one end to the other, to where she's now kind of comfortable with leaving. So those are the things she needs to revisit, just to reflect on herself and the issues at hand, and then trying to map a way forward on how to address them. Because end of the day, if Kenneth is also leaving his home, there's issues there as well. What if he's needing to just looking for that temporary fix and then go back? And then she's left, having lost her family, having left her kids, distressed by the whole changes. Can she go back to that? Can she rebuild that? Can she amend that? It's going to be quite difficult compared to addressing it before she even considers leaving. The fact that she's willing to leave without considering where she is at, that's something she really needs to reflect on and really have that deep conversation with herself. Try and identify the main source of the issue. As I always say, there's no fire without, or there's no smoke without a fire. So there is a smoke in this situation that she's dealing with, but she's not willing to look where the fire is, quench it out.
Yes, you're right, because
My
that's your view. Okay. And I think Oyindamola, wherever she is right now, she'll be listening to you. And that was a very holistic view of the situation. Quite right. Because when I had the word with Oyindamola, I said to her, there are so many missing links in this story. And those are some of the stuff you brought out now, because things just don't happen overnight. There are some issues that could be fixed that she's not telling us. And she has to go back to the drawing board and make sure that she had a very good communication with her husband and, and possibly maybe go for counseling. This could be fixed because Kenneth, we are talking here, Kenneth is not doing the same for Indamola according to the story. Kenneth wouldn't risk anything for Oyindamola, or what I'm saying now. This is more of like infatuation than love, as far as I could see the whole kind of story. So the thing that there's an underlying issues in that marriage that they needed to fix, and they need to learn how to communicate. When you have a relationship where communication is lacking, this is what could actually happen at the end of the day, because the relationship seems to go well according to what she said to me. Then what happened? Why would just Kenneth surface overnight and things will go apart? There's some there are more stuff there that she's not telling us.
now, he would also be willing to make the jump out. He's not. Kenneth is willing for them to continue having those fluctuations that they're doing, those week up, because there's no commitment to it. It's fun. It's exciting. It's someone to step out of his own everyday problems and go and chill in that space. And then he gets back to his home and he acts like the man in the house and everything is all good in his house. But yet he doesn't realize the same token that he's now breaking another home and he's comfortable with that. So if somebody says they love you enough, would they be happy enough to break your home, yet knowing that for them it's not a long term thing they're looking for? So this is what I was saying for her, it's illusion that the grass is greener with Candace than where it is. Maybe the grass is greener at home. She just needs to cultivate it. She needs to water it. She needs to work on it.
Okay.
And then she'll see the greenery coming up.
So we're
But
good.
there are so many, we live in a world where there's so many resources out there that one can look into to have a rebuilding or addressing issues that they are facing.
So yeah, that's what I would advise Mr. Kenneth. Mr. Kenneth, wherever you are right now, you need to back off. Okay. You have your home to keep, okay? And you just I mean, don't take advantage of the vulnerability of Oyindamola. Let Oyindamola fix our home, okay? You just back off. That's why because you are not willing to risk anything for her. So she's just going through this kind of issues in her whole marriage that has actually made her so vulnerable to you. And don't take advantage of her. So any guy there who's taking advantage of such a kind of situation is unfair. It's actually unfair. So there's so many Kenneths out there. So you could be listening to me right now. Just back off. That's what it is. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kola. Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. You take care. Bye bye. That was a very, very good one. She took a very broad view on every aspect of that relationship. There are so many things that are missing, which are called the missing links in the whole of the story, because Oyindamola did not tell us all that were involved in her story. It's just like saying from one side of the story, speaking one with one side of the mouth. So at the end of the day, I think the advice we're going to look into today will be how do we help her? And what the first caller said actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, so she's free to like. We don't condemn, like I said, you are free to just take up the advice or not. Okay, we don't condemn people on this platform. There's no name calling on this platform, but we are here to help you because there could be people going through the same situation right now. So the line is still open if you want to lend your voice, to add your voice to this story. The question again will be this that you're going to look into will be as follows. Okay, let's go to the questions again. The big questions. Okay, this is it. The big question: do you think Oyedemola took the right steps in the right direction? How would you have handled this situation if you were Oyedemola? So, what should Adekunle do in this situation? How would you view Kenneth's role in Oyedemola's scenario? So at the end of the place, I just want people to call it. I want people's view on Adekunle, the husband of Oyindamola's husband. What should Adekunle do in this situation? Because it seems to be like a victim here now. You know, suddenly the wife has changed. So what should Adekunle do in this situation? Because things could go bad if it's not handled well. This seems so complicated, but not, it's just full of intrigues. Okay, just one second, can't hear. Can you hear or not? Let me see. Just one second. I think the audio is fine. Okay, I think the audio is fine. If it's a fantastic audio today, so that's fine. No echoing. So, what do you think Adekunle should do in this situation? Very hurting for Adekunle going through this situation. Adekunle must have a way of maybe handling this situation positively. It's a conflict that has to be dealt with, and underlying issues that I mean that he has to uncover in this issue. It needs to get the wife back, because what could have been happening to Oyindamola, like I said, to me, I see it as infatuation with Kenneth, because Kenneth is wasn't, I mean, on the same page with her. Okay, Kenneth is willing to keep his home, but Oyindamola says she wouldn't mind leaving everything behind for Kenneth, but she was doubting the fact of Kenneth doing the same for her. For her to even have that kind of doubt in her mind, that tells you a lot, that this thing is a one-sided issue. That's what I'm saying. Lots of stuff would have happened between Adekunle, who was Oyindamola's husband, and until she tells us what it was, we won't be able to actually say that much. but we are advising Oyindamola to have a rethink on the step that she wants to take. It wouldn't be a right step in the right direction um, to risking everything for a man who is not actually there or risking things for you. Like the first caller actually said, I agree with her. Seeing a man for so many years back, things would have changed. People change because I have friends that if I see them now, I would need to like revalidate a lot of stuff. I won't put them on the same platform I put them the years back because they could have changed. People change. People change. The only thing that is constant in life is change. So people change. So I don't know why Oyindamala thought Kenneth was the same Kenneth. They say first love never died. That's what they said. Um, but you have to apply your common sense because now you are married, now you've moved on with your life, and suddenly this man just came, want to destabilize the home that you have built over the years. Does it make any sense? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, look, well, somebody said couldn't hear us. Let me see if you could hear us now. 1 second. It's like we got a call back. Said she couldn't hear. I just want to confirm if she heard us. So this is the story for tonight anyway. So if it should be very very impressive for us for you to actually help us to to put your views, your comments on this page so that we can actually look into it. And next week we'll be coming your way again with another intriguing um, story, with another intriguing story. And we believe the next week's story, let me prepare your mind, it's so full of suspense. And it will actually need you to look into it in all dimensions for you to have a meaningful contribution to it. This is a story that has messed up the life of this particular person. So that'll be coming up next week. So next week, expect that story. Now let's go back and so we're back here. So we shared that story today. So thank you so much for listening to this, for sharing your thoughts. And we believe that by next week, we're going to bring another captivating story for you. And before we leave again, I just want to encourage you to help us grow our channel. Okay, please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and press the notification bell. So in case we have a new video, then you'll be the first to be notified. You'll be the first to be notified. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Until next week, when we come your way, continue to do what is right. Remember, relationship is to be enjoyed and not to be endured. Relationship is to be enjoyed and not to be endured. You stay tuned and God bless you. Bye for now.